And welcome to Healthcare Sucks. And this is a part 2. Shout out to BP Earthwatch. He found this stuff. This is Pale Rider part 2 as far as I'm concerned, because you only got part 1 on YouTube. So I'm bringing you part 2. Again, thank you, BP, for bringing this out. I would not be running this if I didn't think it was very, very important you listen to everything that's being said. It's talking about second time around getting this. In other words, you can get this a second time even if you've been through it once. And if you had the anti-drugs, anti-immune drugs, etc., they damage your heart. And you won't make it probably through a second time of running them. So this is very important. You know, I wouldn't waste your time, guys. Check it out. And I'll give a shout out at the end of this too. Here we go.
You're looking at an article. It's very interesting. I've got it over here on the website for obvious reasons. But they're saying now doctors working on the front lines of the novel coronavirus of the COVID-19 outbreak have told the Taiwan Times that it is possible to become reinfected by the virus, leading to death from sudden heart failure in some cases. As we talked about this in the beginning, and doctors were warning then to watch for the second phase. It is highly possible to get infected a second time. A few people recovered from the first time by their own immune system, but the meds they use are damaging their heart tissue. It's the perfect design. And when they get it the second time, the antibody doesn't help but makes it worse, and they die a sudden death from heart failure. Reads a message forwarded to Taiwan News from a relative of one of the doctors living in the United Kingdom. The source also said, the virus has outsmarted all of us. As it can hide symptoms for up to 24 days, this assertion has been made independently elsewhere, with Chinese pulmonologist Zhong Nishan saying the average incubation period is 3 days, but it can take as little as 1 day and again up to 24 days to develop symptoms. Also, the source said that false negative tests for the virus are fairly common. It can fool the test kit. There were cases that they found where the CAT scan shows both lungs are fully infected, but the test came back negative 4 times. The 5th test came back positive. So think about all the people that were tested, and many of them have not been. And so for 4 times, you're fully infected, your lungs are about to go out on you, and you're showing negative on the test. Imagine the amount of people that have went through the system undetected. Notably, one of the ways coronavirus cripples the immune system is via an HIV-like attachment to white blood cells, which triggers a cytokine storm, a term popularized during the avian H5N1 influenza outbreak, in which an uncontrolled release of inflammatory cytokines target various organs, often leading to failure and in many cases death. Now, going back to the CAT scans with the lung, it says a cytokine storm is best exemplified by severe lung infections, in which local inflammation spills over into the systemic circulation, producing systemic sepsis, as defined by persistent hypertension, hyper or hypothermia, leukocytosis or leukopenia, and often thrombocytopenia. And guys, remember, many people think, and it seems that they've proven that this is a laboratory created. It says, in addition to lung infections, the cytokine storm is a consequence of severe infections in the gastrointestinal tract, urinary tract, central nervous system, skin, joint spaces, and other sites. Going to the 2012 study, cytokine storms are associated with a wide variety of infections and non-infectious diseases, and have been the unfortunate consequence of attempts at therapeutic intervention. Vaccines. How do coronaviruses in the body? Question mark. Listen, with SARS, sudden acute respiratory syndrome, and other coronavirus, researchers discovered that one of the ways the disease attacks itself is through an enzyme known as ACE2. Now, this is important, and we have talked about this. It's a functional receptor produced in several organs: oral, nasal, mucosa, nasopharynx, lung, stomach, small intestine, colon, skin, lymph nodes, thymus, bone marrow, spleen, liver, kidney, and brain. ACE2 is also abundantly present in humans in the epithelia of the lung and small intestine, which might provide possible routes of entry for the SARS coronavirus, while it was also observed in arterial and venous endothelial cells and arterial smooth muscle cells, which would include the heart. And talk about the perfect design, which we have discussed. And this is interesting. It said this has led to some to speculate that Asians who have a higher concentration of ACE2 per the 1,000 Genome Project may be affected to a greater degree than those of European ancestry, who produce the least of it and have largely been the asymptomatic super spreaders. Think about this. Okay, you got it, but it's not taking you down, but you're spreading it everywhere. Super spreaders such as Diamond Princess coronavirus victim Rebecca Frazier. You can't design a more deadly weapon. Again, guys, be prepared for this. They're talking about a lot of things coming, a lot more control, maybe even more than we saw after 9/11. Be prepared. It's a heads up. Be safe.
And with that, the reason I didn't want to interrupt it, because BP deserves respect. I mean, huge respect. The guy has always went out there to tell the truth and to help a brother out, sister, etc., to help the United States and other countries out. This guy deserves a humanitarian award. I'm not kidding you. The one that Obama took home for being all this and all that should be given to BP Earthwatch. And I am not kidding you. The guy literally has saved probably thousands of lives by his advice. And spiritually, he used to do the best spiritual, I can't even, it brings almost a tear to my eye when you listen to this man preach. He probably won't like that. I don't think he's ordained. Maybe he is. But, you know, I miss his Bible studies myself. He was one of the best. Council of Time Michael's really good. He is. But he ain't quite a BP in different ways. They're different people. With that, guys, just listen to what was said. I don't know how long this is going to stay up. This was a lot of truth-telling, so they'll probably pull it. But I urge you, if you question anything, go out there, type it in, research what was said. It's out there. Some of it's over the Taiwanian news. I'll try to get you some articles on that myself to show some backup. But there's no reason to question ever BP Earthwatch. He's ultimately one of the best human beings I have ever had the privilege to watch something. And someday I will really hope to shake his hand if we weren't so damn far apart. BP, salute to you. Other tubers, share the information, guys. Share this among your friends. Because what he's saying about second time around it killing you is not a joke. This thing is not a joke. Period. I've been preaching to you, and not preaching, but trying to get you the word of the honest truth of this thing. Trying to get you prepared before this hits full board. Again, one more time. No sick military over there. None. No Emperor's family, none. No pictures of drills. No pictures of anything anymore comes out of there. And we used to get those twice a week. Showing off their rockets, showing off their troops, showing off this. There's something going on. I believe they do have the vaccination, antiviral, whatever you want to call it. In other words, you notice Moon's running around without a face mask and stuff? Come on. And another thing, look at our troops. Our troops are like getting prepared. I wouldn't doubt that our current president knows there's a lot more at stake, a lot more going on with the China government over there. They are not heroes, guys. If anybody's a hero, it's the poor people that are being hit. And with that, love you all. Stay safe. Get prepared. Healthcare sucks. Over and out. And one more shout. BP. Thank you, brother.